You know, when they first started podcasting, we're just talking about nothing.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
2008 podcast. We've already addressed that we're talking about nothing for the intro of the podcast. Thanks a lot.
There you go.
Masego.
Wale needs a podcast.
Bruner extraordinaire.
Anyway.
All right.
Whoa.
Welcome back to another episode of Lobby Call. This is Lobby Call episode 4 or 3. Haven't decided yet. This episode is sponsored by Rockaway.
There's no alcohol in this.
What? What's that?
Rockaway is not really, but
we getting sponsors out here.
Homie from England who does dope shirts and stuff like that. So I was shouting him out real quick. Nice. Rockaway _ in Instagram. Yeah, so go check out his Instagram page.
Yeah.
See?
Fearless leader.
Yeah. So today we have Louie Lastic, special guest Louie Lastic.
Play his tag, Lastic.
You know what I'm saying?
Lastic. Which I do not use my tag anymore.
There we go.
Bro, you gotta keep using the tag.
What?
Bring that shit back.
Man, okay.
Bring it back.
Think of what's like the most classic music of all time. Does it have producer tags? Does Kind of Blue have producer tags on it? Does it say Rudy Van Gelder on it? No. Like Rudy. No. It just is what it is. Tags are cool. Tags, they have their time and space, but I've moved on.
Every time I hear I'm like, I get hyped.
Every time you hear what? Say that one more time.
If Metro don't trust you, I'ma shoot you.
Okay.
Well, what do you care about, Louie?
Like this.
Wow. Let me finish the introduction.
Yeah. My bad.
Tangent. No, we have Louie Lastic here. He's a good friend of ours. He's from the DMV. Very accomplished producer. He's worked with Masego, GoldLink, Kalani, Maroon 5, Ombre. The list goes on and on. He actually plays bass as well. Yeah. Dope bass player. Yeah, so we have him today.
Previously on
I'll let you introduce yourself though, Louie.
So I go by Louie Lastic. My real name is Alex. Been producing making beats since I was like 16, something like that. Started out as a bass player. Still play bass. Ain't as nice as I used to be. I'm no Maxwell sensei, but I'm getting there, There we go. And came up with GoldLink. Produced a whole bunch of songs for him. Recorded him, mixed him, mastered him too, all that.
There we go.
And
rich, whatever.
You think I made any money off of that GoldLink music? You think I made anything?
Ooh,
Come
shots.
on now. No. Shots to myself because I didn't make his hit. You know what I mean, or his hits, his big songs. But I still came up with him. That's my boy to this day, no matter what, through thick and thin. And me and Masego, we also go way back too. We did a little something.
Say yes.
Oh yes. You got it. We wrote this song called "Say Yes." We wrote it ourselves, not a cover. Some people might say someone named Marsha M. some or other. They wrote it. Whoever that is, I don't know who that is. But so me and him. When was that? 2015, right? I think, or 16, 15 or 16, something like that.
He's amongst the people I used to envy, so I would harass him.
I didn't want to go into. I don't know if you wanted to go into that.
No, let's go on. Put me out.
Okay, so I remember this man.
This is the Louie Lastic Masego origin story.
Okay, so
let's go.
I knew he was.
It's called Left on Red.
No, I knew. Okay, so I knew Masego was dope from the jump. Shout out DJ Kid Marvel. He was the first one because Masego used to just hit up everybody just that was adjacent to GoldLink and just hit us all up all the time.
Facts.
And Kid Marvel was the first one to be like, "Yo, this guy's actually dope. Like, we should
because he can see talent."
Yeah, shout out Kid Marvel wherever the hell you are. Probably in DC right now, obviously. And so I've realized he was tight. I heard a couple songs. I think the Pink Polo EP was out at that point. I'm pretty sure, or maybe a song or two from it was out. I don't know. And so I was about to open up for Flume in DC. And by open, I mean start playing when the doors of the club open. So I was literally performing for 0 people. And then by the end of my set, there was maybe like 100 people there or something. And I put it on my Twitter like opening up for Flume, direct support, hyping it, even though that's not true, but it don't matter. And Masego hit me up like, "Yo, let me come out and play sax on your set." And I was like in a session, so I didn't respond right away. This man got a little antsy, so he got like a dozen people to all tweet me like, "Hey, you should have Masego play sax on your set." I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, yes, the answer is yes, but I'm like in the middle of something right now. I can't answer right now, So
I took it as disrespect. So I hit up more people to hit him
so
up.
I just got a barrage of tweets saying, and it got to the point where like people were just like, you know what to do, and then would just put at Masego and at me. It's like, yes, I do. So then I DM Masego back. I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it for sure. Then oh yeah, I forgot to add, everyone that would tweet me, Masego would tweet them back with a selfie of him like holding the sacks. You can still find these tweets. I told this story recently.
I've never heard this story.
Really, I've never told you. You can still find a lot of these tweets, mind you.
I have my own like memes that I made myself.
Yep.
Anthony made them for me actually.
Is that where those GIFs come from too?
Yeah, like Anthony made those.
Yo, shout out to Ant, man. It's the guy.
I used to like,
yeah. So yeah, I tell him, yeah, let's do it for sure, absolutely. I knew the answer was going to be yes. I was just a little preoccupied, so I couldn't answer right away. And then comes the day of the show. It's a rainy day. This man hits me. He was like, "Yo, my mom's not letting me drive up to DC. I can't take the car." I'm like, "Come on!" Like I was like, "It's not gonna be raining by then. By tonight, it's all good. Just come up." He's like, "Nah." Mom said, "Nah." I was like, "Well, shit." But I'm gonna keep real. You didn't miss out on too much. Like young, I said,
I'm looking for these tweets.
You were probably 21 or whatever at the time when I was,
Mom said 24. I can't take the whip, yo. I can't.
Yeah, literally,
I can't play for adoring fans right now, yo.
I wonder. Hold up. Let me look.
No. I'm in the DMs right now.
That was over text, I think.
Was a text thing.
Maybe. Let me see. Because my phone.
But this is the meme I sent him back.
Yo, show.
I'm not showing the camera.
I hate all of that.
Keep it low.
But no, you sent multiple responses of just selfies.
Oh shoot, yeah, I did.
So yeah, Louie, right? Yeah. You used to play bass. Well, you still play bass.
I still play. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you transition more into producing now. You're super.
Hold on, I found the text.
No.
I found the text though. Oh yeah, back to 2015, June 24th, 2015. Yo, it's Masego. Got you locked in. All right, cool. Yo, do you know when soundcheck is? Hey man, soundcheck is 8 p.m. See you then. And you want a +1? Yeah, I got a +1. That's hilarious. And then he said, I'm gonna be in DC early. Blah blah blah.
This is golden.
This is in 2015.
Oh yeah, and then he sends me a screenshot of the weather report.
Oh man.
He's like, said there's a flash flood and heavy rain coming. What do I tell her?
That is hilarious.
Hey man, my mom. Oh no, you say, hey, my mom sent me this. It's 2015. Well, how old were you back then? You were young. You were 21, 20.
I was probably like 20.
Yeah, 20. So that's okay. So
this is hilarious.
It's okay. So there you go. Okay, there's that story.
Yo, why do you have that?
My phone saves texts back to the beginning of time. You know, I've never like lost the phone. I always like transfer everything over.
That was amazing.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay. So you used to play bass and you transitioned into, because you played bass for GoldLink, right? Because I think the first time I saw you playing was with GoldLink on Tiny Desk.
Oh yeah.
With Grace Weber.
Yeah,
Grace Weber was killing the background vocals.
Shout out Billy Davis was on that too, Fire Keys player. And everyone on that was nasty. All the musicians. But like I started out producing for him first.
Producing porn?
For him.
Yo,
I started out.
Yo, said was right, man. Like you don't even think about the shit.
No.
That's what you wanted to hear.
I started out producing porn.
That is, you hear what you want to hear, my man.
No, I'm not tripping.
Run the tape. Pause.
Slip.
Rewind.
Freudian slip.
Okay. So yeah, no, I started out producing for him. I started out just recording him. I can quickly tell the story of how I met GoldLink. It's pretty interesting too. So me and Henny, who's my manager, he's the head of EQT, who's,
shout out Henny.
You know, you guys should have him on the podcast. Honestly, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's the man. So me and him, we had a studio in Northern Virginia, small little spot, from something like 2011 to 2016, something like that. We had a nice run,
right?
And GoldLink started coming by in the beginning because one of Henny's friends, shout out Chris Johnson, Chris with a K, Tiger. Shout out him. He started this program. I forgot what it was called, but it was, the concept was like get kids off the streets and get them in the studio. So he would take 3 kids from this high school, 3 kids from this high school, 3 kids from this high school, and GoldLink was one of those kids. He was 18 or 19 at the time, maybe his first year out of high school, I think. and he was just the best one by far. Some of the other kids were really tight too, and yeah. So he was
got GoldLink off the streets.
Is that what I heard?
You know, it's technically kind of. So he was part of this program, and he was clearly the best one. The program lasted a few months. They would come to the studio for like 2 5-hour sessions a week, something like that. Each kid would get about an hour to record a couple songs. And
that's dope, yo.
Yeah, yeah.
Big brother, big sister
program. Yeah, it's like Boys and Girls Club, but for like music.
Yeah, exactly. So the program ends, and GoldLink comes to me and Henny's like, hey, like I want to keep recording with you guys. And Henny, he's like, we'll cut you a deal, because he had a friend like shadowing me, learning little basic engineering stuff.
Right.
And he was like, if you bring your own engineer, you can just use the room for dirt cheap whenever no one's using it. So he was in there hours and hours, and that's when he really like turned a corner and got really good. And then one of his friends started getting a little bit of money and was like, we want to work with, I didn't go by Louie Lastic back then, but Louie Lastic.
What'd you go by? Go ahead.
I used to go by B Dollar. God. And I still have a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Go find it. It's all like dubstep and EDM type shit. Okay. And some like New York hip hop beats too. Right. But yeah, so they were like, we want to work with Dala, you know, because my last name is Ben Abdallah. That's where that comes from. But they were like, we want to work with Dala again. I like that. Okay. I don't even know Instagram name. But so they started working with me again, and after he was spending those hours with his buddy engineering him, getting so much better, and then he got back in with me again, I was like, whoa, like he's really good. Yeah, and that's when he started cutting the few songs that he put out before his first project. I'm gonna take it way back for the old school GoldLink fans, like Club Bang, if anyone remembers that song.
I do not.
Shit, he was just stealing beats off SoundCloud, you know, at that time, pissing off producers like K Shinada and Lakim. It's all love between all of them now, but like they were mad. They were a little mad at that point, and I get it, because rappers taking beats and doing whatever they want with them is kind of whack. And so yeah, so he just got like really good in that span, and Henny came to me, was like, I think I want to manage him. I was a little bit more tentative. I was like, you sure about this? He was like, let's do it. Or he was like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, let's go. So I still wasn't giving him any beats yet, because he was on that, you know, quote unquote future bounce. That's what he called his sound back then. And I just really wasn't making that yet, you know, that left field kind of house influenced electronic hip hop beats, you know. Right. I wasn't really making that yet. I was still stuck in EDM and old school hip hop sounds. And yeah, so I was just engineering for him, ripping beats off SoundCloud, and then I started dabbling in that sound. And that's when we really dove in and made his first mixtape, but I just called it an album because we worked on it like it was an album. Right. I don't like, I would call everything an album to keep it real, because I'm not going to hold back and not work as hard because it's called a mixtape. So yeah, and that's how I came up with GoldLink. That's that quick rundown of that. Okay. And then he went on to, you know, have a phenomenal career.
So okay, you say you were producing first. When were you playing bass though? Because
I was playing bass in like high school, but I had a band. We were called OTC Funk, Over the Counter Funk. Okay, we were pretty good. I mean, we were pretty good. You know, shout out Liam, Steven, other Steven, Mark, Andrew. We were good, man. And we lasted a while. We lasted from like sophomore year of high school until like 2 years after high school. So like 4 years, something like that. It's not bad. And our best recordings were just like setting up a mic in the corner of the room during a jam session. You know, like we tried to book studio sessions and it's just not the same, you know? It's not. And we had it all up on MySpace, but then MySpace had some issue where like they lost all their music. They had some like crash or something like that a couple years ago. So a lot of those, I'd have to go find my old laptop and find those old recordings, but I'll do it one day. But yeah, so yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I was playing bass back then. I was in orchestra and jazz band. There we go. Hey, shout out to and I'm gonna shout out everybody. I'm gonna shout out Mr. Weinhold, the jazz band director. Mr. Weinhold. We know Sandberg. Hey, I'm gonna put this on Facebook. I bet they'll find it. Mr. Sandberg. I'm friends with them on Facebook still, because those two were the jazz band director and the orchestra teacher, because they're the only teachers that I had for like multiple years. You know, so they left the biggest impact on me. And yeah, I owe a lot to them. And yeah, took bass lessons, took music theory class, did all that, you know. Okay. And once beats started like taking over my life, bass took a backseat because I was like, oh wait a minute, I can like make a whole song by myself. I don't need the input of 5 other musicians. Like I can just do it all myself. So I just, once like computer music took over for me, I just ran with it, you know.
Okay, yeah, because you've like I said, you've produced for who? Room 5.
GoldLink.
You
already ran through this, but okay.
Why you want to do it and not know it?
But what I'm saying is like, but that's, I just named a few, but you produced for like mad people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So what do you think you're like out of all the people that you produced for?
What's your clout level?
That too, but
9,000.
Who do you think? What was your favorite? Like, what do you think your favorite artist was to produce for, and what song was it?
Wow.
Tell us all.
Not Masego. Nah, I gotta say, he kind of smelled a little funky in the studio. You know, when he comes through, it's like you can kind of smell him before he walks in the room. It's just you gotta get prepared, mentally prepared for it. You know, no. Okay.
Talk the trash.
Okay, if we're keeping it real, my favorite person to work with. That's tough because everyone brings their own thing to the table, you know, and I've only done one like real face-to-face session with Masego, and you were there for that when we did Gemini unreleased song that you guys will never fucking hear.
I'm excited for that. So.
One day maybe people will hear it if they're lucky. But
so many shots are gonna come across this couch over the course of this.
You're gonna catch a stray.
Yo,
but
there's so much crossfire right now.
So, but I love working with Masego because I know if I send him a beat that he connects with, I know he's gonna do something with it. I know it's in good hands. You know, I know he's got a good studio at home. Some people, you send them a beat and you're just like, well, let's hope they hear it on good speakers and don't just like play it on their phone like this and go, yeah, whatever, that's cool, and then never listen to it again. Like, I know if I send Masego a beat, he's gonna listen to it, and that's a very comforting feeling, you know, because. Just emailing out beats is like such a crapshoot because it's like, are they in the studio at that moment?
Preach.
Are they in the right headspace to listen to a new beat? Are they even recording actively at the moment? Like, there's so many variables to it that like it's so hard to just like, unless you're really clouded up, then people are gonna listen to your folder no matter what, and they're gonna make sure they put on their nice headphones. But someone like me, you know, I'm like a mid-level producer, you know, so like. It's just no guarantee that you could send someone the hottest beat ever that's perfect for them, but if they're not in the right headspace to listen to it, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
But you could, let's say you're face to face with them in the studio, you play like one little bleep bloop chord, whatever, they'd be like, oh, that's fire, because they're just ready to go. You know, they're ready to write. They're in that zone.
Like creating it from scratch. Like, I like that you know, that's why work.
I pretty much these days I almost exclusively work from scratch. Like, that's just, it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
And it's a way to, it's kind of like a cheat code to like make an artist just feel connected to a song. If they feel like they were part of the inception of the idea right from the jump, they feel more connected to it.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about musicians and artists. It kind of ties into a question I had from Instagram. Guy's name is @TheDrusive. He asks, is there a difference between a musician and artist? I mean, we talked about this before on previous podcasts, but I'll start with you, Masego. Do you think there's a difference between musician and an artist?
Yes. I think an artist doesn't have to be that talented, but a musician does.
That's a really good.
So fucked up and so true.
Yeah, it's a thing, yo. Yo, you hit it. Yeah, that's dope. That's yeah, right, exactly. What about you, Dan? What you think?
I feel the same way. I think, like, for me, I can tell that someone's a real musician if I can put them in a room with a bunch of musicians of any genre that they've never met before, and just say, hey, you guys are musicians, make music now. And if you're a musician, you can just do it.
I wish Dan would come in the room and say, make music now.
Make music now.
Yeah, no, like that's, but yeah, no, I feel like musicians are sort of by trade, like especially versatile, and they can I don't know, they hear really well and they work really well with other people. You know what I'm saying? Artists don't really like. You can put a bunch of artists together and say, "Hey, make something," and you might get something.
Right.
But if you have real musicians in a room, I feel like you're always gonna get something creative.
Right. What about you, Dan? Louis. I'm sorry.
So I agree with
B-Dollar.
what both of them. Oh, whoa there.
What do you think, B-Dollar?
You know, a lot of people still do call me Dollar though. But
I'm calling you
anyways,
Dollar for the rest of my life.
because it's playing my last name. But anyways. So I wholeheartedly agree with both of them said, but I'm gonna give them a little other perspective on it. I feel like every artist is a musician, but not every musician is an artist. Because it's like if you make sounds and it's recorded, you're a musician. Like I don't need it to be like this super high bar. You know, if you got the dopest hand claps in the game, you're a musician. Maybe you don't know a thing about harmony or theory or anything. So, like I said, I fully agree with what they said, but like I feel like an artist, there's more of like a presentation involved. Sure. You know, there's more of like a story there and all that. But I feel like musician is the umbrella term, and artist kind of fits underneath that, because you can be a musician and not an artist. But if you are an artist in terms of music, you're also a musician. If that makes sense.
So I'll ask you this: is a producer an artist?
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
Yes, because you're creating art. You know, even the old school definition of a producer, where you walk in the room, go, play it like this, don't play it like that, move that part over here. That also counts as creating art. You know, and being a musician. And I feel like producers are definitely artists.
I gotta disagree with you on a couple of things. Like, I feel like
contention.
No, okay, so I feel like I don't think to call yourself a musician you have to set this truly high bar or anything like that. But I feel like, you know, if you put an iPhone in somebody's hands and they want to be able to like take pictures one day, like they don't call themselves photographers. If you give someone an easel and like some paint, they don't say, "Oh no, I'm an artist, I'm a painter," immediately. There's a sort of like creed that comes with those professions. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no,
I feel you.
Yeah,
let the Lord use you. Take your time. Go ahead.
But I don't want to be a dick, because I mean, I think, you know, being like musicianship doesn't require like excellence. Like, you don't have to be the best player in the room to be able to call yourself a musician. I think that's silly. You know, because like, I mean, I consider Bob Dylan, you know, a musician. Can he sing? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So no, I think there is a bar, but I don't think it's super high. But I wouldn't call everyone who makes music a musician by definition. I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah. I agree. I think all you guys' answers culminated. It's like, that's what it is. So yeah, we're gonna talk about today's topic, and it is separating the art from the artist.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't care.
Yeah. So I'll start off. I'll start with a question, right?
Cancelled.
Already.
R. Kelly is the best music.
R. Kelly is the voice of a generation.
So what level of personal information do you share with fans? So I'll start with Sarah, because you know he
actually has fans.
Right.
Us do not.
Exactly.
Before we start, can we take bets on how long we think Masego will be awake for this podcast?
I'm
gonna give it like 20.
He's got the shades on.
Yeah, he ain't slick. We know what you're doing. We know. No, but I'll ask you though. What level of personal information do you share with fans, and like, what do you think you owe your fans in terms of sharing, like, you know, your personal life?
I think me personally, I try to give the backstory to songs, because I think my fans care about like the inception of it. And like my whole claim to fame is like getting people to appreciate the process from nothingness to wow, we have a song. So I like to give them the backstory when possible.
Right.
In terms of like more than that, it's not my bag to like really let them into my like personal life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk about it in my music. It's more of like leaning more into metaphor, into escapism, into fantasy. So I feel like with that being the world that I've created, I don't have to like tweet out, "Oh, she won't text me back." You know what I mean? Like, that's not my bad. But for some artists, like, that's their bad. Like, every moment of the time that they're in a relationship is like, "Oh, we're arguing. Oh, we broke up. Oh, I cheated on him." listen to track 4. Right. You know what I mean? But like, if it's your bag, it's your bag. But I think for me, I'm only looking more towards like showing different sides of my personality to help allow the fans to not expect one thing from me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not off-putting, where it's like, he's wearing sweatpants and a hoodie. The silk god is abandoned us. You know what I mean? So I think that's all I want to do, is making sure like, hey, here's all of the things that I'm into. In general, move accordingly. Yeah,
I mean, because like, if you think about like, just for example, the Will and Jada situation with the entanglement thing, right? I guess Jada felt like she had to tell the world on Red Table Talk.
She did.
You think she did?
Because you gotta think.
Do you think she like owed her fans?
Because it got out.
I feel like that's more like brand protection than anything else. It's like doing a press release after you get caught up in some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If you have a legitimate following, you can't just say, you know, you can't just like not address it if you have a brand. You know what I'm saying? You have to come out and say. Yeah.
If August didn't say nothing, then Jada shouldn't have said nothing. But it was already out.
Big facts. That's my point with it. It's just like people that are in that media field, like the Jada Pinkett's, like the Wendy Williams, the Charlemagne's, where like they be in other people's business. And they really, not even in like a negative way all the time. It's just like, yo, they tell what it is. I feel like when something airs out like that, in order to protect their brand and keep the legitimacy and the realness of their platform, they gotta address it at least.
Right.
You know, she ain't gotta like tell exactly what happened if she doesn't feel like it.
Got in an entanglement.
You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean? We were entangled. I don't know what to tell you.
Come on, Dan, say your mango pit joke.
Ooh.
No, I'm not. What?
I want to hear this.
There is no mango.
Your blood. Never mind, doesn't matter. But yeah,
wait, what were you gonna say?
Nothing. So either way,
what?
I was gonna say none of that. None of that thing. So the thing with it is, I feel like when you got to be consistent, consistent with how you communicate to your fans, and so on Red Table Talk, it's all about bringing difficult topics to the table, so it made sense for her to at least address it. And so like insert any person there, like be consistent with how you communicate to your fans and what they expect from you.
Gotcha.
I think.
Okay. Well, I agree to a certain extent. Like I feel like, well, back in the 90s, before social media and you know,
when you were 30.
Yo, just the way that you. So back in the 90s.
No, but real talk, like before social media was like a whole thing, and you know, celebrities can tweet and what's going on in their life. There was a certain like mystery to like, you know, a certain what's the word?
Mystique.
Yeah, like a certain mystique to celebrities. Like, oh, people wanted to know what was in their personal life, but you know. So for me, I feel like I kind of respect that, like, you know, because I'm a really private guy, and so like if I was to be a celebrity, I would try to set up a brand, like you said. My brand would kind of be like, okay, not like Frank Ocean, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Just be consistent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna know if you
got a tattoo or not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Crazy stuff. So it's
show them the tramp stamp.
Yeah, and so kind of segueing into like the next question.
Show the tramp stamp.
Show
it.
Boy,
show it.
All right, so I had another question from my Instagram follower. Mujani07 asks, "What do you think about the fact that people tell artists to shut up when it comes to politics? What responsibility do people with a platform have to use their platform to further what they think is right in the world?"
Good question.
Right?
That's a big question.
From what I see, I feel like the larger you get, you kind of get forced into it. From what I see, because I'm looking at, I started out with my favorite top guys, the Michael Jacksons and the whoever else I want to name from that era. But it's just like, I think whether they would have wanted to or not, people put all this pressure on you. Like, your platform is so huge, you have to care about things and you have to fix large problems. Right? So at the very least, I think celebrities get forced into at least making an opinion. You got to choose. Like, you can't be on that fence and be a celebrity. You got to say either I'm anti-politics or y'all need to vote and I'm going to do a campaign. I'm Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? Justin Bieber's Canadian. And this man made a campaign saying Americans go vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because his fans and his kabillion fans are like pressure. Like, do something with your platform. Like, why should he care about U.S. politics? I mean, of course, he's big out here, but
he also lives here too. But yeah,
he got multiple houses, probably.
Yeah. What do you think, man?
I don't like the idea that, you know, celebrities have to use their platform to sort of like, you know, push awareness for certain issues. I feel like every celebrity has the right to use their platform for whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
But like I think especially with like younger people, like a lot of them feel like it's celebrities' obligation to use their platform to support issues that the fans support. You know what I'm saying? But like every celebrity, every, you know, athlete, musician, artist, or whatever, they're not going to be like really well versed in exactly what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like for LeBron, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a good. I was just about to bring that.
Yeah, no, like I mean, granted, no, sure, it's something, you know, politics is something that he's very clearly, you know, passionate about, and like, you know, the sort of like this iteration of the civil rights movement. So that's something he's really proud, like he's really passionate about. But he didn't have an obligation to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the fact that people put, you know, hey, you're big, you have a platform, use this for good. Like he doesn't have to be a specialist.
On the contrary, somebody told him just to shut up and dribble. You remember that?
Yeah,
he's
no.
like,
Laura Ingraham. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
she only said that because she didn't agree with him. If he was expressing conservative political ideas, she would be like, "I love LeBron. That LeBron James, he's a good fella." Yeah. So it's clearly just partisan politics, you know.
A good fella.
yeah.
He's a good old boy.
Like, exactly. That's a good boy there. She probably would have called him boy too. Keep it real. But
keep it real.
But keep it hot. But I feel like there's like two sides of that coin where it's like celebrities shouldn't be, you know, pressured into expressing political opinions, but they also shouldn't be, you know, reprimanded and stifled for expressing opinions. You know, it's just let them be people. Some people are just apolitical. Some people just don't care, and you shouldn't have to put that on them, you know? Some people, like, it's okay to say, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of people are so afraid to say that these days. Like, you have to have an opinion on this. You have to, especially if you're in a position of power and influence. Like, you need an opinion on this. It's like, maybe I don't know. Maybe I didn't read up enough about it. Maybe I just don't, I'm not, you know, well versed on this topic. And celebrities are people too, you know? They're not sitting there reading current events and staying abreast on you know, what's happening in the world all the time. You can't expect them to know just because they have a voice. You can't expect them to know what the hell they're talking about.
That's true.
They aren't political science majors. None of them are. You know?
Dave Chappelle had like the funniest bit about that in like his last stand up. You know, like after 9/11 and stuff like that. And they got like, I forget which news station it was, but they got like Ja Rule.
Oh, where's Ja?
Where is Ja? So I can make sense of all this.
First of all, that was like a 10-year-old stand-up bit. That was his most recent one.
No, I mean,
but that was like it was a while ago.
That was
really
like killing him softly.
That was killing him softly.
One of he had those two classic.
It was at the Laugh Factory or something like that.
Yeah, where's Ja to make sense of all this?
Yeah, no,
and just discovered Dave Chappelle this week. Right. Yeah, there's this Dave guy really has an act.
You're exactly right. That's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
I think for me, I think it's like kind of both. You know, for example, like Taylor Swift, she got a whole bunch of backlash for the whole, you know, Black Lives Matter. Colin Kaepernick, he got blackballed from the NFL for taking a knee. The Rock endorsed Biden and stuff like that. I think it just depends, right? Like old folks pissing.
You got one more time to use this joke. One more time.
What I say? What I keep saying about Masego, about him being a something artist. Damn, what I say? You said, remember last episode? You was like, "Oh, we can play
iconic."
No, we can play bingo on how many times Maxwell says.
Oh, artist extraordinary.
Yeah, there we go. Artist extraordinary. No, but like, I feel like if it's something with like just dealing with righting wrong, like Black Lives Matter, cool. Yes, people should be like, you know, standing up for what's right. But when it comes to like politics and endorsing, you know, presidential candidates and stuff like that, I kind of feel like, you know, just going back into like, there used to be a time where you wouldn't tell people who you were voting for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it kind of,
I don't think that's a bad thing though. That we talk about it now.
Mm-hmm. Well, now because it's dealing with right and wrong now. Because Trump's a fucking asshole. We all know that. But
sadly, not everyone.
Well,
knows that.
yeah, not everyone, but
everyone in this room. That's
yeah. So. Well, I don't know. Sego kind of like go Trump.
If you don't speak, then you just love Trump. Jeez.
Well, you mentioned that like Black Lives Matter seems to be something different than like a political opinion. These days, it is a political opinion.
Yeah,
and it absolutely should not be.
It shouldn't be. It seems should be just, obvious. Oh, this is wrong. This is fucked up.
But it's become political. It's become if you're BLM, then you're a Marxist. Communist, socialist. It's like people. Mitt Romney said Black Lives Matter. Right. You know what I mean? Like it should be beyond political, but in this day and age, it is.
Okay. This is going on to the next question. Where do you personally? This is something that me and Lauren came up with, right? Because we're talking about separating the art from.
No, me and Lauren, my baby.
Oh, my girlfriend.
My girlfriend. Sponsored by my girlfriend.
No, but just talking about separating the art from the artist. Where do you personally draw the line about listening to an artist who has who's done something like, you don't agree with?
I'm getting canceled.
What? Listen,
I'm getting canceled.
You can feel it,
dude. It's already.
What have you done?
Canceled.
No, but no, seriously though, where do you draw the line, right? Because a lot. They're just saying, right? All our heroes are devils,
especially ones from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. So it's just
every single one has a checkered past.
For sure.
Right, so it's just like who are some artists you wouldn't listen to based on what you know about them to be as a person, or are there television shows you won't watch because of certain artists' transgressions? Actors transgressions.
I was not prepared for this.
This was so hard.
I did not read the doc.
I read it and I'm still not even fully prepared. This is so tough.
I can't read.
I think I got an answer.
Okay, go for it.
I think you have to separate the art from the artist, but I'm not happy about that. I wish I couldn't. But, like you mentioned in the doc, Miles Davis knocked his wife's teeth out. Whoever that was. But Miles's contribution to music is so great, you can't ignore it.
Yeah,
you can't. Because even if you say, fuck Miles Davis, I'm not listening to him anymore. I'm going to listen to whoever the fuck else. Can we cuss on this, by the way? Okay. You're going to say, like... So if you say, I'm not going to listen to Miles, I'm going to listen to...
Charlie Parker. Well, Charlie Parker did this. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to listen to Charlie Parker. I'm going to listen to Dizzy Gillespie.
But, let's say it is someone with a perfect... With a an angel, someone that's never done anything wrong. I guarantee, if it's a jazz music or a musician in general, I guarantee you they're influenced by Miles. So even though you've canceled Miles, you're still listening to his lineage, his input and his creation, his influence, So you have to separate art from the artist, even though it sucks. And I wish I could.
I wish people were just just good people, but
But sometimes. Literally Led Zeppelin did weird stuff. Literally everybody from in that era. Hey, this is something we could talk about. As men, we got some issues we need to work through. Men back in the day would get away with a lot of stuff.
There was no accountability.
None.
There was no recordings of anything. It was just
right.
Yeah.
So just even with just. Bill Cosby, for example, right? All stuff.
Just diving right in.
I'm just giving examples. You know what I'm saying? So
rape, for instance. Jesus.
Yeah, but it's just okay. Are people going to stop watching A Different World? No, probably not. Yeah. Are people going to stop watching The Cosby Show? I mean,
is Fat Albert canceled?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and Bill Cosby has done tremendous things for just the black community, just donating money to schools and just good things. But
scholarships and shit,
but so it's you kind of have to not take the good with the bad, but you have to separate.
Yeah.
He is paying for his transgressions now, though. So
at
least that provides some closure to people,
Right. So now they can watch Cosby Show?
I guess. That's such a tough question.
Yeah, it is.
That's why, like like I said, you have to separate, but it's so hard to do, you know, when you really think about how some of the awful things these people have done. Legendary people,
right?
Know, titans of our field.
Yeah.
You know?
What about you, Masego? What do you think?
Huh?
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you have to separate the art from the person. Because again, I was previously subscribing to ignorance is bliss. I just don't want to know. Because I assume that they've done insert person name here, some things that would mess up my perception of them. And I feel like I just want to hear a song and just appreciate it for that. And it's interesting because like we're living in a time where the headline is black queer da 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 da. And it's like you just missed that person's a singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think of the song? So I feel like people are taking either one or two sides. One, it's like we just want to like you for reasons outside of your art, and then boom, we have to separate everything else and just stick straight to the art.
Right.
Unless the two infuse itself, and you made a song about knocking somebody's teeth out, and then it's like, okay, how do we separate that? So I don't know. It's just this weird line that I see. It's like either the person's personal life is crazy, music is something else, or the music tells on themselves, or you know what I mean? It's I don't know. So I feel like you got to pretty much like put together your own morale when it comes to it. Like it's like what is too far for you? Maybe you'll listen to R. Kelly, but you can't do what's the movie director guy?
Which one?
Roman Polanski.
I mean, insert white guy name anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know
Roman Polanski. Yeah.
Yeah, him or the
Weinstein, probably.
The Weinstein one.
Oh, okay. Well, both of them.
A deep dive.
Both of them.
Roman Polanski.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, both of them were terrible people.
Like Polanski is on some shit.
Yeah.
But you got to just choose which one is like the most it pisses you off the most.
I think to me that sort of begs another question though, because I feel like sure you can separate the art from the artist, but do you then have an obligation to like not support the artist financially even though you're enjoying their artwork? Because I feel like there's a lot of artists who as people I do not enjoy. I'm just like, you're kind of a piece of shit, you make great work, but I still want to enjoy your work, but I do not want to support you financially as a person, because I don't think, even though you put this work out into the world and your work is literally a part of culture now, I don't think that the culture, because of what you've done, owes you any sort of compensation anymore.
That's a great sentence, but I mean, but you're gonna support him regardless. Like you're either gonna stream it, you might not go to a show, but you'll watch a DVD that someone purchased, or you listen to you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that sounds great. Like we shouldn't support people financially that do bad things, but we're going to regardless. Whether we know
if you like R. Kelly, pirate his music.
There we go.
That's basically what I'm saying.
There we go.
I think it boils down to
that's good,
right? Just not knowing that person personally. Like for example, Tory Lanez. If he shot the people who are listening to Tory Lanez, right? If he shot one of their sisters or mothers or aunts or whatever, they probably wouldn't listen to the music. You know what I'm saying? But since they didn't happen and it didn't happen to me, I'm still gonna listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but for example, just for me personally, there's people who are close to my circle who I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? But and nor would I wouldn't stream their music or whatever. But if whatever they did, it didn't happen to them, it's like, okay, I'll still listen to your music, or
it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like celebrities with these foundations they make. It's only if it happened very close to their circle.
I got one thing to add.
Go for it.
Micah brought up like snitching on themselves and their own art. You know what I mean? Like talking about the awful things, is like when you say Miles Davis knocked his girlfriend's teeth out, he never made a song about knocking his girlfriend's teeth out. You know what I mean? He made
a trumpet solo sounded like he did.
Sounded very abrasive.
Something.
No, but speaking of Bill Cosby,
right.
Bill Cosby, there's an episode of the Cosby Show where he talks about his special barbecue sauce. Have you guys seen that? That clip from that?
No,
it was weird about how I've seen the clip. He talks about how it makes women get randy and loose and excited. What? It's so weird. And then
they try like yellow pudding.
Yeah, but no, it's so. And then you see, okay, this is something that this man was clearly thinking about. And then. Hey, let me finish. Hold up, goddamn. This is not. And then he also has a stand-up bit. He also has a stand-up bit about Spanish fly, which that's what they called like the date rape drug back in the day, back in like the 70s. Where he's like, "Have you heard about?" I can't do a Cosby impression. Have you heard about the Spanish fly? That sounds nothing like Cosby. It don't matter. He talks about date rape in his stand-up bit. And
he talks so crazy because he doesn't curse in his stand-up.
Yeah, but he'll be like, "Have you heard about this pill? You give it to women, and it makes them hot and bothered and hot under the collar." Like he talks about what he did to women in his TV show, which I assume he wrote that or had a hand in writing the barbecue sauce, joke punchline, and in his own stand-up. So it's like he snitched on himself. People should have seen this coming, and it's crazy. This was. People knew Bill Cosby was a creep for years and years, and it only became a new thing because of Hannibal Buress. You guys know about that. He said that in a stand-up, in his own stand-up, saying like, "That motherfucker rapes people," and then it blew up. It blew up only a couple years ago. This has been a known thing for probably decades since the 90s. Are you saying
that his stand-up made people look back into the cases?
It just brought it back into people's minds and made people remember. Oh wait. Oh yeah, he's right. Hold on, let me do some research. And then this whole, our generation realized, oh wow, Bill Cosby was kind of a creep. It kind of reignited it in people's minds.
Sure. Hollywood always knows about the shit that happens with the the talent before everybody else does. They just don't say anything. But like everybody knew about Kevin Spacey. Everybody knew about Bill Cosby.
Yeah, they don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Like Family Guy made a joke about Kevin Spacey years ago.
I've seen that clip. Yeah.
And that the way that they act is probably like a common thing in the business.
Oh my!
Wow. I mean, low key. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like everybody. Look, people are. We all like make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like not even mistakes, but there's just some shitty people in the world. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. For people who are just listening. On like just the podcast app or whatever, you just pull up a picture of Common while he used the word common, and it was awful, and I hated all of it. I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
Anyways, continue your point, man.
There's a lot of freckles. As we digress,
it's funny. People in general, whether you're a celebrity or not, there's just some shitty people in the world. Period. Sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's a thing, bro. So if you take away all the people, all the artists and actors and movie people, and you take away all that, all their art, you wouldn't have anything to listen to or watch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, because especially in Hollywood and Hollyweird, it's the reason why they say Hollyweird, but it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's just.
Well, how about this? We can start at some point. We can't retroactively cancel Miles Davis and Bill Withers and everyone, all these other classic musicians, but we can start holding people accountable now. So
that's true.
Let's start that. Okay, absolutely. Stop being weird. Okay,
right.
There we go.
Use your platform.
Stop being weird.
But here's the thing, though. Does anyone really get canceled? Like I know, like cancel culture is just a thing now. It's like, oh, okay, you're canceled. But do people really get canceled? Is that like a thing?
Some.
Name three.
People get canceled for like Louis C.K. will be back eventually. He'll be back. Right now he's still kind of in that purgatory or whatever. Kevin Hart got canceled. He's not canceled. Like I really don't think cancel culture is nearly as bad as people make it out to seem. Like that's why watch any stand-up comedian these days they go, I can't say anything anymore. What? I gotta, everyone yelling at me online. It's like, you just said this on a Netflix special. What you just said is being beamed into millions of households. You're not being stifled. You're not being suppressed. Your speech is not being suppressed. Like, chill. Yes, there's annoying people on Twitter. Those people always existed. They just didn't have a voice before.
Right.
The people that have really, really been canceled, most of them deserved it, to keep it real. You know what I mean? But
I feel like you can get really canceled, but whether or not you're canceled, like properly depends on if you're successful enough to survive your cancellation. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like Louis C.K. is super successful. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely gonna be back because he could afford to like lose millions of dollars worth of like shows and sponsorships and blah 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 blah, and you know, sort of wait it out and come back later.
Yeah, he can afford that hiding.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Spacey, same thing. He's probably gonna come back. I mean, not for a long time, but like, he's probably gonna be back.
I don't know about
Roseanne,
that one, buddy.
You think Roseanne is ever coming back? You know, assuming she's...
I don't know what she did, but Kevin Spacey, I don't know about that.
Roseanne, she was just a Trump supporter, right? That was her only cancellation.
Yeah, no,
so
she took like a bunch of Ambien and said some wild shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah.
Okay. I think this kind of is a good segue into our own vices, right?
Ooh, this is not the
Wow.
time.
No. I have a question from Instagram. Her name is Blue Moon Purple Sky. She asks, "What are your guilty pleasures or bad habits?"
Listening.
Let's talk about some of our own vices. Right?
Vices and guilty pleasures.
Let's start off with Louie.
Damn.
$1.
So I used to smoke a lot of weed.
That's not.
I mean, I still do.
No,
but I used to too.
No. I really. No. The way I used to smoke weed was outrageous. As soon as I woke up in the morning, rip the bong, you know. But like before I would eat breakfast, I would clear a whole bong, you know, and then start my day. Smoke weed a couple hours after that. I would smoke, you know, multiple blunts a day, and it gave me the munchies. I used to be much bigger than I am now. I still got something going on over here, you know what I mean? But I was a big boy. I was a fat motherfucker.
Damn, boy.
I'll put it down. That's
a thick ass boy.
Yeah, I was a thick ass boy, circa 2016, 17, you know, and yeah, like weed was my vice. You know, I never was a big drinker. Was never a big like womanizer, just because I couldn't get the ladies, but if I could, I probably would have been. But not like weed was definitely my big vice, and now I'm at a comfortable spot now. I don't have anything that really I feel like I need to cut back on heavily. I feel like I'm good now, but I used to be. I don't like to use the word like addicted when it comes to weed because you don't get withdrawals from not smoking weed. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing, but I definitely was leaning heavily on weed for many years of my life, like many. But now I hardly smoke now. I haven't smoked in like I don't know, like a month or two, something like that. Okay. So yeah, I hardly smoke now.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm not done smoking. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back to it.
It's not over yet.
Trust me, I'm gonna get back to it. But I know this man, he's a pussy hound over here.
Woo!
This man, come on now.
I've never heard that phrase.
Pussy hound.
He's a pussy hound. What about you, Dan? What do you think some of your vices are?
I don't know. I feel like I have way more guilty pleasures than vices.
Okay, whatever, both.
I think "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift is a fantastic song.
Hey, those drums smack.
Dude, they're so good.
There we go. Shake it up.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Is that how it goes?
Is that it?
That is not how those.
I didn't think so. I was like, yeah, there's more.
You gotta shake.
No, honestly, I think like my main vice for like since I was, I don't know, call it like 23, 24. Has just been alcohol, probably.
So 20 years ago.
You're literally like 4 years old.
But yes, continue.
No, that's about it. I think. I think I was joking with a couple of homies of mine. It's just like, I mean, I don't drink nearly as much now as I used to because I'm out. Like tour kind of does that to people.
Yeah, tour is a thing.
You never have to pay for drinks.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Like you drink before the set. While I always have alcohol with me while I'm on stage and stuff like that, and then afterwards I'm gonna keep drinking and stuff like it's free alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And also I think it sort of just speaks to like tour culture a little bit because after you don't sleep consecutively for like 4 days, you kind of just have to do something to look like a human being on stage and be present and be active. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. What about you, Masego?
Frivolous spending money.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Can we call?
They didn't even print the other side of the bill. You see? What do you mean frivolous? Listen.
Oh, you haven't exposed him like that.
All podcast.
Right, damn.
That's more frugal, not frivolous, in my opinion.
This is the picture they used?
Get one of these.
You got naked face. You got no facial hair in this picture.
This is old. This is going in the wallet.
Your face looked like a thumb in this picture.
Wait, hold up. I got some old Masego bucks.
Oh, you got one of the originals?
I got one of these.
Oh,
This isn't that old.
That's
but
still
I
in
got,
circulation.
Hold up. Damn, I used to have a very, very old Masego.
I can't see it past all the hundreds.
Pinch this $100 bill one more
Right.
goddamn time.
I have a $10 bill in my wallet. No, I used to have like a Masego buck from like 2015 in my wallet.
It was
but
mad crinkly. It looked great.
it was dead, so I had to take it out. But okay, continue. My bad.
Sego.
It's just social media. That's all.
Social media is
that's real.
your
That's
vice
a
or
thing.
your guilty pleasure.
He just send too many dick pics, you know? He just can't stop. He just can't stop. When the lighting hits, it's so nice. The veins popping. It's just
Glizzy pics.
I
Send,
need you
send.
to, I need you to keep drinking because I need this to get worse.
Glizzy.
You might have to edit that out. We'll see.
Oh my god.
He just called your meat vascular, bro. You don't Look how vascular I am. Jesus, man.
It's just social media.
Just social media. Yeah, you are kind of a
Square.
yeah. Like you don't drink, you don't smoke, which is cool. I don't drink and smoke. I drink, but like moderately. But I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? But
You're like dry food. Like you don't even put ketchup
Right.
on fries. You just
What?
He just likes dry fries and apple juice. That's his.
Oh, apple juice is
I'm
apple juice is
all of
delicious.
y'all niggas role model. All right.
Oh, wait, Micah.
is not
Speaking of
correct.
vices, so did you ever like have a phase where you drank a little bit, or just never through your whole?
No.
never.
Like,
I've seen
Never,
Sego
like,
drunk
had a couple
twice
sip-
in my life.
Man,
No,
it's
three
known
times.
for a decade.
So,
For one
so
shot.
you have
Yeah.
drank a handful of times in your life, then?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, because I've never seen a drink in your hand once in my life.
I'm
He,
drinking
he,
tea.
I think I've seen him, like,
that
drink,
whole
three
thing is
times.
tea.
Correct.
God damn, you gonna have some bladder stones and late in life.
Wait, what do you get
That's-
from tea?
Did you say
Yes.
bladder stones?
Yes.
Bladder stones?
Yes.
From tea?
Like kidney
Yes.
stones?
Call every
Whatever,
Asian
or
you
kidney
know
stones,
right now.
whatever the fuck. Kidney
have
stones.
some bladder
I'm
stones.
serious. No, I'm serious. If you
From
drink a lot of
drinking
tea, yes, because all the sediment build up. I'm serious.
Hard water.
It can happen. I'm just saying. You know,
Just because you light skin, I don't
you
mean
need
you
to drink a
doctor.
lot of water with drinking a lot of tea.
Tea is literally
I mean,
water.
this is-
Louis did
the
lose a lot
health
of weight.
hour.
I'm gonna have to ask him.
Hey, come on now. I've been gaining the bank though. Oh, shit.
Sego hits the I love you stage so quick. You can have like
Whoa.
one shot, and then he's just like, "Hey yo, can I tell y'all something? I love y'all niggas, man. Like,
That's my favorite kind of
so
drunk.
quick, dude.
I love those drunks. Well, only one shot. That's all it takes. But those are my favorite people to drink with. Who like pull you in. Henny does that a lot. He'll like pull you in and be like, bro, like,
Hey, bro.
like I'm telling you, man, we've been through so much, man. And he's like talking real close to your
And
ear.
he
It's
is
like a
that
hot breath. You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah,
I hate
bro.
when his like bottom lip touch your lobe. I'm just like, Eddie, put that.
Yo.
Roll that up for me, please.
Vodka. Speaking of which,
Yeah, there's some Woodford over
kidney
there.
stone tea.
Matter of fact, can you pour me a shot?
No, I'm behind the mic.
Oh, okay. I'll do it later.
This I'll host it. I'll host.
Take a
the
little
podcast.
pause. Pause
I
it.
can't.
It's
takes more time
authentic.
All right, I'll do mine. I think for me,
Porn.
Ha! We know them tabs.
nah, for real, like that, like yo,
Oh, I got some story. I can't.
incognito. Nah, I think back in the day, like it used to be.
Get a booty 9. How many
women.
times you watched
It
it?
used to be women for me. Like,
Once upon a land.
yeah, bro, women. Yeah, man, it used to be a thing. Like,
Who you used to be, man? Tell us about it.
Changed man now.
I'm a change man now, yeah, but like women were definitely a.
Cancelled.
Yeah, man. It was a thing.
Cancelled.
It was a thing, bro. Like, it got to a point where.
Cancelled.
What?
Like, I know exactly what you mean, because I got a couple friends who it feels like you go out with them on the weekend. If they don't get laid Friday or Saturday night, they feel like, this weekend was like a wash.
Not you,
It was a
your friend.
failure.
Yeah, not you.
Not
though,
me,
for sure.
not-
yeah,
no.
no.
That ass serious, not me.
Gotcha.
But I got some friends that it's like, you go out with them, it's like, even if you had a great time with your boys, you know, got drunk, had some great conversations, just kicked it. But if they didn't get laid, it's like, oh man, like they feel like less of a man. I know a lot of dudes who feel that way. It's like getting laid,
I
like
won't like
valid.
that.
Not you. I'm saying,
I feel like more of a man.
I don't even beat
No,
off.
man, I mean-
When I nut, I lose a little bit of my manhood every time it cut. No, okay, damn. Wow,
Keep
I might need
drinking.
you to edit.
No,
I might need you
bro.
to edit this down a little bit.
No, but it
I
like
cannot wait to listen back to this.
Oh my
Right.
God, that Woodford.
He said you
flowing
got a
through my
vascular
veins.
meat, bro. He's
oh
talking.
my
Jesus.
god.
No, but I'm serious. I know I know a lot of my boys back home. You know, some of them. I feel like if they feel less of a man if they don't seal the deal and get laid on Friday, Saturday night, and they feel like if they validate their manhood by getting laid, and it's like it's fine to go out and just kick it with your buddies and maybe talk to a couple chicks. You don't always have to take one home every night. Like it's fine, it's okay. But yeah.
I mean, for me, it was just like I kind of craved the attention from women, and that kind of took away from. I ain't say I craved it, but
it's okay to say you crave like female.
Nah, but I was driven to the attention of women, and it kind of took away from other aspects of my life. It took away the drive from like say music or school or whatever, and it was a thing. It was I had a stage. Okay.
So wait, when you texted me, all women should be in the kitchen. What did you mean by that? What were you trying to say?
Yo, you wildin'! Like metaphorically, the kitchen,
that never happened. I never said that. Never said that.
Lobby call, Maxwell Hunter. Merlot dropping soon.
I do have a single coming out next Friday. I'm kind of
next Friday.
Yeah, actually this Friday. No, I wish. Lush. That's a dope record too.
Wow, you got songs coming out you didn't even send them to me. Wow.
I'm sorry. I got
he didn't let you do the drums. He didn't let you do nothing.
I hear you be downloading like royalty free loops or whatever.
Wow.
Like you could,
wait at him.
You could like holler at your boy to get something original, but it's cool. It's okay.
I got you.
It's okay.
Next EP, I got you. Absolutely.
Well, when you're working on the next EP, Chardonnay, holler at your boy. I got you. I got you.
Pinot Noir. I'll do more question.
That was great.
Are you guys worried that one day some of your mistakes may come to light? Do you have any fears about that? I'll start with Sego since you're the most famous out of
some of my mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've deleted my tweets already.
Hold up. Did you?
Why are you pulling up the receipts right now?
Hold up.
No, but you know how I think Kevin Hart had a lot of blowback from like old tweets and
I'm sure somebody will listen. Either somebody will create it or find it if they want to end you or attempt to. But I haven't done nothing.
I got something to add to that. So we're of that generation. If you're in your 20s, even up to your mid 30s, we all grew up with we were on MySpace and Facebook and even Twitter when we were children. I had a MySpace when I was 15 or whatever, and I'm 31 years old. So imagine someone that's 25 literally had social media since they were a child. Yeah. You say dumb shit when you're a kid. I remember I went on my Facebook. And I just went back to my old statuses. Remember, you used to make statuses on Facebook? I found the dumbest shit on there. I'm not going to repeat none of them, okay? Nothing like cancelable, you know what I mean? But maybe a couple things. But I was just like, what was I thinking? I deleted the real worst stuff. Talking about smoking weed and stuff. This is a public forum, and I'm 16 years old. Hitting up one of my boys yo, you got money for an eighth? Let's go buy an eighth. I'm literally putting that as my status.
Yeah,
what? Because I was a sophomore in high school. So our generation, I feel like we're so susceptible to having old tweets dug up. So someone like Kevin Hart, that man's 40 years old. He was making those tweets about
it was a different time back then.
Yeah,
it was
and he's a comedian. He's allowed to say things.
I agree with that, but at the same time, well, maybe he's not the best example. But when some people go "Oh, that tweet was so long ago," it's bro, you were 28 years old. What do you mean, so long ago? That only applies if you were a kid or teenager, even up to maybe 20. You know what I mean? Then you can say "Oh, that was so long ago. I've changed." If you were grown, if your balls dropped, you know what I mean? You had some bass in your voice, you know what I mean? You can make your own decisions, you know what I mean? You can say I'm sorry for what I said, that's fine. But when you use the that was so long ago excuse, that don't work if you were an adult back then too, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Let's take some questions from IG, last 2 or 3 of them. This kind of segues into what I was talking about. Vice. My vice was women. So speaking of women as a vice, Miss Melanin Flows asks, what kind of women do you like, and if you desired marriage, what qualities do you look for in a wife? And she also asks how we're approaching dating right now. So I'll start off with I'll start with you, Louie.
Dating right now is tough.
No, what kind of woman do you like?
What kind of woman do I like?
Yeah, what kind of woman
in the
do you like?
words
And if
of
you desire marriage, what qualities do you look for? So,
in
what
the
kind
words
of woman do you like?
of the great poet laureate Sway Lee, I ain't
I
got
don't have
no
no
type.
type.
Beautiful women
Oh,
are the only thing that I like. Okay. Really, you know, I really, I know this is such a typical ass thing for a dude to say. I really don't have a type. I've dated all shapes and sizes and colors, you know, and you know, sometimes you feeling one type and sometimes you're feeling another type, but no, you know, as long as we get along, it really doesn't matter too much her like specific features, you know. As long as we get along, have somewhat similar interests, but also at the same time, I've gotten along great with women that have a completely opposite taste in music than me, like completely different movies than me.
Right.
You know, that type of stuff isn't too important. It's just about if you hold a great conversation, if you make each other laugh, you know, enjoy each other's time, and yeah. But speaking of dating these days, that is tough, you know. Yeah. Like for the past few months, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say the C word.
Thank you.
But it's just been tough, you know, because it's like, how do you decide who you want to meet up with in person? You can't take them anywhere.
I think he's about to say it. I'm listening to you.
I'll say it.
But you can't take.
Cuckoo head.
Okay.
Whoa. But yeah, it's like you can't take them anywhere.
Right.
Everything's closed. You know, it's tough. Yeah. But there you go. That's all you getting out of me.
Okay. Dan, what kind of woman are you into?
Cute ones.
What kind of woman do you like?
Attractive ones.
There we go.
I don't.
That's it. You're that shallow.
Wow.
Yeah. You want me to discuss the kind, like the personality types?
I mean, yeah. What kind of women are you into?
Open-minded ones, smart ones.
Gothic.
That's
Why are you gonna ask his opinion?
wow.
He likes chicks that shop at Hot Topic, you know, Spencer's, get a couple band tees.
No, dude.
You know?
When I was 19, absolutely. Yeah.
They're like with the stockings on their arms.
The white and black stripes.
Oh,
dude, I'm still in my emo phase. I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like.
I find it with it, haven't you ever heard of the goddamn door? I don't even know the words. You know. Who is that? I don't even know. But just when I see Dan, I hear that song.
When I see Dan, I hear that song.
That's fucked up, man.
Hey, that's a classic.
What about you?
I see your face and I hear.
What the hell is that?
This reminds me of cereal or something.
Saturday mornings.
I'll tell you later.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, but say, what kind of women do you like? What kind of women are you into? And do you desire marriage?
I like women with great taste in music.
Okay.
So that I love keeping it open-ended like that because with that foundation, I mean, you could just win. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Definitely, I'm open to marriage.
What qualities do you look for in a wife?
Great playlist.
That can't be it, bro. You got come on, man.
That's it.
Wait, do all y'all feel the same way? Like, do you feel like you guys could date somebody who has a shit taste in music? Basically,
I can't do that.
I can't.
As a musician and as a producer and artist, I can't.
I love music too much to pretend, and I don't want to put you on either. Like I'll add on to you putting me on, like it's like a little tennis match, but it can't be. You really like. You're like, have you heard this new NLE Choppa?
Damn, why you gotta? Okay, you might need to censor that one. We might need a little bit. Bleep. No, but
I don't even know that man's song.
Little Pump.
But no, because there's always like a new name when you're trying to like make fun of the state of music. Right. He's like the one right now. I don't know what that man does. But I mean, really, my metaphor really is just like, yo, I'm too much of a jerk. Like I can't pretend that your taste in music is good when it's not. And it doesn't have to be I'm in your playlist. It just needs to be eclectic and just to show that like you're not just listening to what's presented to you at the mall on the loudspeakers. You know what I'm saying? So That's what I'm getting at. It's just like, yo, don't give me the most obvious hit. Like, have you heard that new Jack Harlow? That's what's popping. Show me an old Jack Harlow record, then we can talk. Then it's like, all right, now let's see what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Anybody can be my wife.
I feel like I could sacrifice a good taste in music if she has great taste in something else.
I thought you was gonna say box.
Damn.
Why?
Whoa.
Okay. To be fair,
Lobby call after dark.
yeah, no, if she has like really good taste in like literature or movies or something like that. I'm sorry, books for those of us who can read.
If she like read words real good, then like
hey, if she read good, you know what I'm saying? Like that, no. If she has a really good taste in like books or movies or like I don't know, just art in general, then I can. I don't want to call it artist, but like I can take you having a shit taste in music if you're really into other things, because then you can put me on to stuff and then like we have an exchange. Going.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
I've tried that and it didn't work.
But you got to remember, like,
because you only like music. That's like the only thing you like, and that's okay.
You also got to remember, like, well, I'll speak from my own taste, but you guys are from mi corazón. But I feel like you guys are pretty similar to me, where what I like is not what the majority of people like. When I'm cruising in my car, I throw on Herbie Hancock Man-Child and just turn up to that. I can't expect, like, that would limit my dating pool so much if I was to be like, I only like women that listen to Lamont Dozier. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Lamont Dozier.
He's fire. But, like, I can't limit my dating pool to that, you know? Like... I've gone on dates with women with exceptional taste in music and we really didn't hit it off, you know. Maybe we had a fine time talking about music. And I've gone on dates with chicks that only listen to, you know, Drake and Rihanna and radio music and we had a great time, you know. So I don't want to limit my dating pool. Just like when you meet people that have like super specific type, like I only like 5'2" redhead chicks. It's like, damn, what if she got brown hair, but you get along great? Like, I try and keep my dating pool as wide as possible, right? Because you never know. Because here's an example, a great example why. Both my parents, like my dad's from Tunisia and my mom's from the U.S. You know, just regular white lady, dude from like, you know, an Arab North African country. They were so vastly different in their backgrounds. But they came together and created me and my two sisters. Like, if they met and were like, I don't know, you didn't grow up the same way as me. You don't like the same things as me.
Yeah, it's just fucking
I don't know if it's gonna work out.
No $.
Then I wouldn't be here if they didn't make it work and hit it off. You know. So I look at that. That's why it's like I never want to limit, you know, my dating pool that much by like based off of super specific things like that.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, I think for me, my I do have a type. I'm not gonna lie. Like I can't explain it, but usually
6'8", power forward.
I climb trees.
Oh no! What is he on? Thick, 6'8", power forward. I'm in your face. I'm in your place.
Hey,
what else?
No,
talk to
I do have a like when it comes to like dating, like all my girlfriends. First off, all my girlfriends, like the serious girlfriends, have great taste in music. All of them have like dope taste in music. I'm like, oh,
I wish I could say the same. That is not the case.
I don't know. It's just been a thing for me. Like all of them say 1, 2, 3. Like my past
36, 92.
4 girlfriends have had like really great taste in music. But I wouldn't say that's like, okay, you gotta have great taste in music, but that definitely helps. Definitely have to be intelligent, smart and intelligent. Those are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Oh, speak on it. Explain.
You know, very, very well read. Not very well read, but I should be able to have an intellectual conversation with you. And
talk about alkaline.
I feel like, I mean, hey, look,
Zulu into that.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that all?
Have a good sense of humor because I'm really.
I heard a little click.
Whatever. Let me just check.
Why you just moan like that when you got out of the chair?
Yeah.
I'll say one thing real quick, then you can continue. She can like her typical radio music, but she better respect when I got the aux and I play something. That's where I draw the line.
Right.
When I play my music, when I put on my Coltrane or whatever, you better at least, you don't have to like it, but you better respect when I play it. You know what I mean? Like if you sit there and go, what is this?
Listen,
then no, that's where I draw the line.
I'll
You
give
shut
them
up.
a pass
Get out
if
my
they
car.
don't like Coltrane, because Coltrane is just like I can't listen to Coltrane for too long. But
Can't listen to Coltrane for too
not
long?
for too long. No,
Get out.
no. Put
So you do Right By Me?
Listen, put on a Coltrane record.
Everything you touch?
Listen, Johnny
Don't
Stepp's
fail.
great, but like a lot of his music is just like, oh, you're high. I get it now.
They were all high.
What great music was created by sober people?
None. No shit.
None.
Well, there's one exception.
That's why I'm not there yet.
I mean the classics. Like,
I don't know, but yeah, she has to have a great sense of humor because I'm really silly, and you know,
he's silly.
into anime. You know what I'm saying? So
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out
He's a
Lauren.
weeb.
yeah, shout out Lauren. You know what I'm saying?
She completes me.
My heart.
Love you, baby.
You know,
Oh my god, I love you so much.
okay, that's one more.
I got a pee.
Avant Garde with G's a 9, but he actually created the logo, lobby call logo.
Nice.
Really dope.
Shouts out.
He's really
Okay.
dope, yo. I can't wait for y'all to see the lyric video. This dude's dope. Anyways,
Good,
yes.
good.
How have our hobbies impacted our craft, like our other interests outside of music?
Most of my interests are kind of music related, you know. But, you know, I got a couple other things. I like playing video games sometimes, you know. I like watching basketball when it's in season, stuff like that. But, you know, I'm fortunate at this point in my life to make music my job. So I make sure I carve out, you know, 8,
You get
10,
it. You bought
12.
a Tesla.
Okay, stop. It's a Model 3. It was cheap. Okay. But anyways, I always make sure I carve out 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day to focus on music, of course. Unless it's a day off where I'm really just kicking it. But, yeah, I feel like you can't be 100% wrapped up in only one thing. You have to live life and have other things that give you enjoyment and, and fulfillment. Or else, you know, your music might get boring if you're only influenced by other music. Sometimes you need to be influenced by going out for a trip or watching a movie or something like that. I feel like that breeds better art to be influenced by life in general. You can't only be influenced by other music. Just living life and being interested in things can make you more creative.
Right. What about you, Dan? What how have your hobbies impacted your craft?
Yeah, I feel like
I mean,
I don't have
I know
a
you're
bunch
heavy
of-
into BDSM. So what
Ooh.
has that? You know.
Bibles, dogs, sisters, and
and medicine.
that was good.
I enjoy that. No, I feel like my biggest hobby, if you want to call it that, or my biggest interest outside of music is like film for the most part. So
same.
you know, because I watch
Film Foster at Film Foster.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't.
Follow.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
No, let's not.
Dirty Mac.
I'm about to delete that account. I haven't used that shit in like a decade.
I've tagged you many times.
Stop doing that. I did not know.
When I post a song I produce
Your
and you worked
DMs
on
are
it, I'm
probably
going to shout you out.
disgusting.
No. Fine. I got like 6 followers. And I think like 3 of them are in this room.
Do you even follow me back? Hold up.
On
If you
Twitter? No, I don't use Twitter, bro.
What the hell was
So
that?
make it quick because the
Got
camera's
you.
going up.
Yeah, no, I think just because I watch so many movies and stuff like that, and I'm so
Ooh,
into
Max.
film and shit. Oh no, hold me down. Yeah, no, like a lot of my music sounds like
Whoa, yeah, that's a lot. Goddamn.
movie shit. It's very cinematic. That is Jesus fuck. Dude.
Oh, on the.
sorry.
wow.
On the.
Same pencil.
No, that's
I'm
not.
in a different tax
Mine or
bracket than you.
Dior?
He's like, oh, you got them joints to Old Navy? Me too. Nah, that's not what happened. They're just black together. That's
These are from Dover Street Market.
ooh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, did you finish?
I think so.
Okay.
Movies are good. Music's good. My music sounds like movies sometimes. That's
Yeah,
about it.
I was about to ask you, like, how often do you find yourself watching a movie and being influenced and inspired by that movie in your own music? Not just by the soundtrack, but even just by the feeling, of this scene makes me feel this way, so you try and translate it into your music. How often does that happen?
Honestly, like for me, I think it depends. When I watch like movies by directors who are really, really imaginative, then I can get like sort of like auditory influences from this thing based on just what I'm seeing. It's not often, but it's just like I watched Fury again for the first. I watched Fury again pretty recently.
Tank movie?
Yeah. No, like it's really beautifully shot. And the music's really good.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah. So like when I watch stuff like that, or like really weird shit, like Mirror Mask, or like Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus and shit. It's stuff that's like really imaginative visually that'll make me want to write things that feel like that. But most of the time my influence are just like, oh, the soundtrack is sick, the score is fantastic, I want to do something that feels like this. You know what I'm saying?
Micah, Masego. Sorry.
Ooh, you got a lot of beeps to do, man.
We're not allowed to say the government names?
Nah.
Masego.
It's all good, man.
Alexander.
Whoa.
Is that it? You thought that?
Yeah.
I was like, looking at your passport, like, what is?
Dude, I thought it was something like really androgynous, like Ashton. But like,
What?
That's your name from now on, brother. That's your name. All right, go ahead.
Honestly, my music, it'll be either a cool conversation or just a great meal. Those are the two things. So like, I love
those are your hobbies.
I love seeking out a fire meal when I'm places. Yeah, because like you think about it.
You do.
Look at all the dope producers that came through here. A lot of them named their beats where we ate that day.
That's facts.
Shawty Fishing was called Tender Greens. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like.
Wait, Shawty Fishing was inspired by Tender Greens?
Yeah, the first time I had that chicken with the mashed potatoes.
No, that shit did kind of buzz for so cheap too, man.
Yeah,
so good.
shout out to
Keep talking. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
All right, well.
There's so much spit in the corner.
No, I got it. Now. I got it. Luckily, the cameras are a little further back. Just blends in with the lack of melanin. So you guys know the producers Day Trip. Of course, they're on fire right now. The names of all their beats are before they become songs are all food. That's why they produced that song Panini. The name of the beat was Panini, and Lil Nas X wrote a song about panini. So like when I've done a couple sessions with them back in the day. The beats we made were called like, I can't even remember. It was like grapefruit or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of funny you say that. They they just name everything after food. At least they did back then, and I'm sure they still do. Yeah.
Because John and Jasper, who work closely with them, do the same thing. So you can tell they were definitely like following in that same pathway. So I thought it was cool because like. I don't know. And it might just be like a thing because when we were making Lady, I mean, Kojo did that and like Nicki and a lot of those other producers. So food is a thing. I like seeking out a really cool meal. And then just the conversations that happen in studios kind of influences songs, when I'm like by myself later. Like the last time I was in Jamaica, the dudes were in there casually talking about balancing somebody's aura who's in like a marriage. And I was like, how do you balance your aura? They're like, well, husband's at work,
Oh my!
Balance her aura.
Balance her aura.
But they, how Jamaicans, everything they say sounds so cool. Let me balance in the aura, and I'm like,
let's fall into a moment.
Yeah, all that. And I was like, yo, and no one's like acting like it's not
right. So
I come in the studio later, and I kind of like speak from that perspective on something, and then you got a song.
Gotcha. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up because the camera's about to die. I'll do one more question.
You could like plug them in,
I have to take the battery out and put it into a charging thing.
Okay.
Well, this is the first camera ever made.
Huh?
This is the first camera ever made.
It's a crank. You
low key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick. Is there anyone you want to work with that you haven't? Masego.
Jesus.
Okay.
He wants to work with Jesus Christ.
Want him to work with me.
Is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Okay. Dan.
The devil.
All right, Louie.
Okay, Louie.
Come on, Herbie Hancock. To keep it real, Herbie. Wow, he's still got it, man. He's still got it. I've seen him live a couple times. He's something like 80 by now,
he's still killing
and he's still got it, man. I love Herbie. I'm a Herbie stan.
Yeah, I met him at the what
you met him?
Festival?
You shook his hand?
Yeah.
Can I kiss your hand?
We did a jazz festival in what was it?
You heard me.
Java
We've been
Jazz
a lot of
Festival?
jazz festivals. Was it Montreux or was it like
It might have been in Florida.
did
We
Java.
a show in Florida, and he was there.
Tallahassee?
Yeah. I shake his whatever.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's cool. For me, I think
was
it's
Montreux.
either Robert Glasper or
Of course.
We
Her.
know.
or Kendrick Lamar. I think that would be dope.
Of course.
He'd
Yeah.
like you?
Yeah.
That's the obvious answer, Kendrick. Of course.
Dan, are you
Yeah.
really you want to leave it with the devil? Come on, man.
You got something. You
Come
got
on, come on with Satan. Come on, bro.
No,
something.
there's a bunch of people I wanna work with.
Miyazaki. You want to?
No, I would fucking kill to work with Miyazaki. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
there you go.
What did you say? Corn?
Corn?
Is that the only like?
Feeling
that the
like
only
a
band
freak
that you
on
know?
a leash. I used to love Corn when I was
Dude,
like
I
13.
still
I'm gonna
love
keep it real.
corn, man.
Death Cab for Cutie. Okay.
Hell yeah.
No, we don't. What?
Death Cab for Cutie. I think they spent some time in DC. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they're from DC, but I think they might have came up in DC.
All right, guys. This is another episode of Lobby Call. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We got follow me Maxwell _ Sensei. Follow Louie at Louie Lastic, one word. Follow Masego at Masego. Follow Dan. Almost.
My
Follow Dan at Dan _ Manimal. He's
I'm gonna change that soon.
Follow Chap House Jazz at Chap House Jazz. Yeah, that's been a wrap.
What the fuck is that?
Come on, let me get that Jamaican horn.
It's our shit. Oh wait, no. There's something called death noise. Hold on. I gotta figure what that's
Your last breath.
Oh wait, no. This is better.
Oh my God! Come on, Dan, you're fucking.
What is
up.
that?
Come on.
He's got it. That's
Jamaican
great.
noise, man.
Apparently that's
Tradition. There we go.
You can't have a tradition in 4 episodes.
That's a wrap.